この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Evangelion episode 23. Last time on EVA. Oh man, we got some crazy mind rape by an angel of Asuka. And then we have removed the spear or lance of Longinus, same meaning. Lance of Longinus thing from Adam, and he has, it has, gained legs with legs on them. It's real weird. And as far as I could tell, that was just about the only thing keeping that angel creature thing contained, and static. So, removing the lance from it is the kind of thing that might kick off some real bad juju, some third impact type level of weird craziness. I don't know. Asuka's not in a good way. Shinji was almost absent in this episode. He was very heavily focused on Asuka. And Rei threw the spear into the heavens, and it is lost to nerve at this point, so they're not going to be able to get it back. Yikes. We're in the end game now. I feel it in my bones. So I'm expecting stuff to get real weird. But I don't really know what to expect. We're on episode 23, Director's Cut. It's a bit shorter than the previous two. Last two were 29:21 and 28:46. This one is 25:30. It's I think the shortest of the Director's Cut episodes. Okay. Before we get into Eva, I want to do a comment spotlight, because I said I was going to do it, and so I'm going to do it. There are some great comments, and I want to go through them. So, the first comment that I want to spotlight is from the scientist formerly known as Kyoma, aka Hoin Kyoma. From a psychological standpoint, privation can imply having never formed attachments to individuals, whereas deprivation is the losing or loss of established connections. Ha! Interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. That adds a bit of a layer to things, because, well, Asuka, we saw her when she was very young and became very cold and, I don't know, distant from a very young age. So perhaps she has never formed meaningful connections or attachments to individuals. The exception, I guess, of Kaji. But even then, that's more of, how do I put that? It's more of an infatuation than it is a real attachment. I don't know. I don't know what to think of their relationship. Partly because they don't think the same way about their relationship. Second comment from Bernard Black. This comment is just a list of all of the words that were in German that I some of them I did get and some of them I didn't. But menarche or menarche. I don't know. I'm gonna butcher all these German pronunciations. So if you're German, you can laugh at me for that. Erhangt. Hung as in hanging oneself like her mom did. Menarch is first period. Double Selbstmord begehen is committing double suicide. Which makes sense. It's one of those smush the words together because it's German words. Unsauber is unclean. Why? It's why augerlich? How annoying or infuriating. Stiefmutter, stepmom. Okay, thank you, Bernard Black. I appreciate that. There were some other people who mentioned some of them in their comments, and I'm just using this one because it went through all of them, and that was really helpful. So thanks, Bernard. Appreciate it. And then finally, we have a long comment from Craig Neely, and I really liked this comment. I liked a bunch of things about it, so we'll go paragraph by paragraph. I love the "What are you doing there" sequence from 2054 to 2150 in Showtime because in an instant it makes you reevaluate Asuka's relationship with Shinji. In episode 9, she talks to him contemptuously, putting up the wall of Jericho and saying it's time for children to go to bed. Here we see her on the other side of the door in the dark and alone. You won't do anything. You won't help me. You won't even hold me. She wanted him to enter. We saw her crying for Mama in 9, but didn't understand why at the time. Oh, right. You won't even hold me. Suddenly, episode 15's Asuka being a bitch and kissing Shinji because she's bored scene isn't so funny anymore. We see her pretending to wash her mouth out at the sink and looking defeated. If you start looking, you find a lot more of this kind of thing. Back in episode 8, we see her talking herself up before she goes to fight. Why did she need to do that? Why did she bring Shinji along in the cockpit? She draws herself up in episode 17 before trying to talk to Kaji. She's trying to be her best for him. She's not confident. It's just a front to convince herself and others. This is a fantastic description of the shift that we get in our perspective of Asuka's character in the last episode. We, through the angel's light and in a weird, non-continuous, broken, fragmented form, we get to see all of these aspects of who she really is. And that's why I titled the episode Shining Light, Revealing Darkness, because what was revealed by the light shining into Asuka wasn't bright and happy. It was darkness within. Human darkness, the kind of thing that we all have. And I went back and forth between going fully Jungian with the title and calling it Revealing Shadow. But I went with darkness. But what we're seeing is what's behind the facade, because Asuka, that as we know her, is a facade. That confident, almost overconfident, the tsundere is a front, as you say. It's not what she really wants, and she isn't honest with herself about what she really wants. She identifies as a shell, partly to hide and partly to run away from the turmoil that's within her. And let's be real, she is a broken human being with a lot of problems in her past. She had a mother who killed herself and tried to bring her with her, and she would have been willing to go. She had a father who was a lecher and used his family situation to garner sympathy from nurses and people. Asuka has been alone. She has been, as the scientist formerly known as Kyoma pointed out, she has been without attachments. And that breaks people. That causes improper development. That's all I could say about it. So, continuing into this comment. Other thoughts. Her mother was a researcher, and they say her mind was fragmented in a contact experiment. Contact with what? I don't know. It could have been an angel. It could have been Eva. Do we know whether her mother was working with Nerve? We know that there's a branch in Germany. But was it established by the time that Asuka was a child? That we see that? Maybe. I think that it was her grandmother talking with young Asuka after we see her mother's grave. I could believe that. I could also believe it being her stepmother, because we get that phone call later. I don't know if it was the same voice actress, though. I don't even know if we heard the voice actress for her stepmother. Misato hated her father, but he saved her life by sacrificing his own. I think this is in reference to something that I said about Misato getting revenge on her father's killers. Yeah, she's conflicted. You're right. Hard to pin down exactly how she feels about her father, because she hates him, but she can't deny his self-sacrifice. There's love there, so that's interesting. There's typically a lot of intent in the use of cuts in EVA, but regarding Kaji's killer, I think it's misdirecting you. She simply didn't have any motive to kill him. A bunch of people have commented about this. Thank you for correcting me. I do appreciate that. I am wrong in saying that I think that Kaji's killer was Misato. It's just not the case. And apparently, Ano specified that later. The fact that he had to specify it tells me that like maybe they could have done something a little bit differently and been a little bit more clear about that, but I'm not going to hold it against the show. I just misinterpreted and tried to draw a connection where there wasn't one. Yikes. Whoops. So thank you everyone who commented that. I got it. In the this isn't the real me repeated sequence, the different VAs in the show take turns playing Asuka. Somebody else commented, and I don't have it right here, but somebody else commented that they sound like they are playing their own characters playing Asuka, which is interesting. It's an interesting thought. And it brings to my mind the repeated sequence in Shinji's head where he hears or has each of the girls saying the like, "Do you want to become one with me? It's a very, very comfortable feeling," or something like that. Very reminiscent of that. And finally, I don't think I agree with the Shinji and Asuka had sex theory, though it's plausible as some of this is left to the imagination. I think it's misinterpreting a sequence in EOE between them that can be better explained as a side effect of something else going on. Can't say more without spoiling. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate the not spoiling part. I don't necessarily buy the theory either. Also, I haven't watched the video on the theory, so I don't know what the basis of the theory really is. I just know the title. That's all I know. There are some things in here or in the show that could lead me to say, oh, that could be supporting evidence for this theory, but it's not explicit at all. And like, I don't know if I buy that this semi-autistic boy and this really damaged, fucked up girl had sex that night, or that they didn't necessarily. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting theory. Does that make sense? Like, you can think something's an interesting fan theory without actually buying it. I don't know. Anyway, Craig, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. You went through a lot of things that a lot of other people in other comments touched on. I chose your comment because it touched on, like, almost all of them in one, and that's a little bit easier and a little bit faster. Faster, I say, when it's been 17 minutes into the recording. A bunch of that was in the beginning when I went and gathered these comments, though, so I turned on the camera too early. Anyway, thus ends the comment spotlight. If you want to be in the next comment spotlight, leave your comments down below, and I'll maybe read them. I mean, I'll definitely read them, but I might read them out loud and actually, like, dialogue with them, so. Yeah. And somebody asked about this in a previous video. I'm not sure where it was, but somebody asked, like, what's your ulterior motive for this comment spotlight thing? Very tongue-in-cheek, like, not trying to accuse me of anything or anything like that. But let me just say it. I'll just tell you. Here's my mustache twirling evil plan. My comment sections have always been really nice, and I don't know what it is about my videos or my personality or whatever that causes people to write relatively nice things in the comment sections, but I really like that my comment sections are nice. Generally, people are talking about and pointing out cool things in the shows that I watch that they've watched and that they like and want me to be aware of. Generally, people aren't being assholes and spoiling stuff. Super nice. Generally, it's like a really positive place, which is not something you can say about a lot of comment sections on YouTube, and it is something that I really strongly appreciate. So, my evil mustache twirling plan is to foster that and to attempt to highlight the kinds of comments that I really like receiving so that perhaps inspires more people to write that kind of comments, those kinds of comments, and sort of fosters the kind of a cool community in my comment sections. Because I think it would be really cool as a YouTuber now, like, for my comment sections to be a cool place to be. Because often they're the opposite. They're like the worst, a wretched hive of scum and villainy. And I don't like that very much. And so I would like to break that, you know, and have a cool comment section where people are talking positively about cool stuff in the shows that they like. Or, you know, pointing out legitimate criticisms, whatever. But yeah, that's the whole ulterior motive. That's the game plan here. It doesn't have to do with YouTube's like engagement algorithm and whatever, because I just don't care. I just don't care very much about YouTube like recommending my videos to a few more people. I don't use YouTube as a monetized platform. I've distanced myself as much as possible from it as a monetized platform. That's why there aren't any ads at the beginning of these videos or any of my other videos. It's because I choose not to monetize. My entire source of funding is, we'll move into shill stuff now, is patreon.com/Teeaboo, where a bunch of people, I think it's like 86 people now, are giving me a couple of bucks. And you saw a shout out at the very beginning of this video to a couple of them who've gone way above and beyond and joined the esteemed colleague $15 tier on Patreon just to support me and help me eat, because this is all that I do and it is my sole source of income. And so that's really awesome. And if you want to join us on this weird, goofy shonen protagonist journey that I'm on to becoming the best reaction channel that I can be and hopefully one of the best out there, then maybe head over there and I'll see you in the Discord, and you can use our emotes, and you can have next week's EVA early. You know, just a thought. And again, huge appreciation to all of my patrons. $1, $5, $15, all y'all the best. Literally the only reason that I can eat, and that's kind of awesome. I've only been doing this for, what, 3.5 months now? 4 months? October, November, December, January. I guess we're coming up on the end of January, so we're coming up on 4 months. And I've got almost 4,000 subs, and I'm making almost $450 on Patreon. And that's a lot more than I expected, a lot faster than I expected. It's kind of amazing. So, we're not going to stop, we're going to keep going. Yeah. Just keep doing what I'm doing, because it seems to be working. And y'all seem to be enjoying it, so I'm going to keep doing my best to talk about and dig deep into the things that really affect me in the shows that I watch, and hopefully y'all keep enjoying the videos. Also, if you've got any, I'll do this part, because it goes along with what I want to say. For this video, also, I want to say, like, if you can't afford or just don't want to support me on Patreon, it's totally cool. Like, don't sweat it. I'm at the point where I can eat and eat well, and that's all that I really need. Anything on top of that is going into stuff to make this channel better. Like, I've been looking at microphones for weeks now, because my mic is having problems. Any money beyond what it takes to feed me for a month is going into stuff to make this channel better, and then stuff to make my life better so that I can make more videos, because this is my whole life at this point. But anyway, if you can't afford it, don't sweat it at all. The videos will still come out public a week later for you, and just, you know, like, comment on it. It means a lot to me to have comments, even if they're simple as just saying, like, I really like your videos. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that keeps you going, you know? But anyway, I'm holding up this thing and blabbering about other stuff. Like the video if you like it. If you hate it, dislike it, and then leave me a comment telling me why you dislike it. That would be helpful so that I can actually, like, improve. If you're not subbed and you want more videos like this, I make them, so you might want to do that. And if you are subbed and you're not getting videos like this, the bell might be able to help you. Maybe. Also, we've got these Full Metal Panic paper pals right here. Let me see if I can show you a little something I've been working. It's probably not going to show up on camera. Oh, it shows up on camera. Holy crap. It's not too bright. Nice. So you can see, this is a big boy. This is a real big boy. For reference, this is about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches tall. This is a big boy right here. And this is one of 3. That's Unit 01. It's coming. It's gonna take a while, though. So, yeah, I'm gonna do a line of EVA paper pals because I want to have them. So there'll be Unit 01 and Shinji, Unit 02 and Rei, Unit 02 and Asuka, and Unit 00 and Rei. And I will make 3 of them, and they'll be like a big honkin' diorama thing, which will end up on one of these shelves. Yeah. It'll be cool. It'll be really cool. I can't wait. But I can only do so much on them at a time because my hand starts hurting. It sucks. Anyway. This is like the longest intro that I've done, period. So let's cut it off before we get real crazy with it. And let's get into EVA episode 23, because I figured that I'm going to have a lot to talk about at the end as well. And once these videos get to be like an hour and a half long, they're more like podcasts than than reaction videos. Okay, let me switch the audio to Nihongo. The hell? Okay, audio to Nihongo, the subtitle track to the English sub, and let's watch us some EVA, shall we? Okay, for some reason shit's getting broken. Alright, there we go. Got the volume controls up. Audio track to Nihongo. Subtitle track to English sub. Alright. Multiple versions. There'll be a version on BitChute, or there might not be a version on BitChute actually, because I don't always do that for EVA. In fact, I don't often do that for EVA. Whoops. There will definitely be a version on Mega with the full video in the video. So if you want to go and get that, you can go and get that from Mega. You'll probably want to download it and play it in your own media player at your own convenience. I may actually put 2 versions on Mega, which is what I did last time. I put out, depending on how long the video is, I put out one that's encoded in H.264 and one that's encoded in H.265. If you don't know the difference, 265 is a more advanced codec, and it leads to much, much, much smaller file sizes for the same level of quality, but it's not compatible with all media players, and it won't play in browser on Mega. However, if you download it and play it in VLC or MPCHC, it should work perfectly fine. So if you want that, it'll be a smaller download size, which means you'll probably be less likely to hit mega caps, and it'll be smaller, more easier to work with, you know? Okay? Okay. But it probably won't work in, say, Windows Media Player, or QuickTime necessarily, because it's a newer, more advanced codec, and you're going to need a more advanced video player to play it. So I would recommend VLC or MPCHC, which are both free and open source and great and highly recommended. And they also give you cool features like the ability to frame advance, which is really helpful, especially when there are lots of flashing random words on screen. Okay, EVA. The YouTube version will be timer-based as usual. Beep, beep, timer. Boop, 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 beep. And on the beep and the green light, same frame that it starts playing. And there will be notes on screen, and I'll continue dialing back the amount of notes that I take, because we'll do a relatively extensive run through at the end. Okay? Okay. Beep, beep, timer goes here. Also, this is tea. It's matcha with some milk. All right, what do we got? What's going on? Oh. Oh. She just re-listening to it? You'll never get the chance. Whoa. I feel you, Pen Pen. Not coming back. Oh, that line again. Tears. Ah, these bastards. This was the excuse that they came up with. Whoa. It's a halo. Man, her confidence is completely shattered. I don't care. Oh, it's a double helix. What is it capable of? Hmm. What the hell is it? Oh god. Oh god. Wonder why it's targeting Rei. Only because she's the only threat around? Maybe. She's in her own head. Time to bring out Unit 01. These are tears. Whoa, what the fuck? Uh-oh. Shit. What? What? Oh man, that looked like an S2 engine. She's gonna sacrifice herself. Again. A flash of Gendo. Tears. Oh my fuck. They choose Ritsuko? Doesn't have the earphones in. Hedgehog? She needs comfort as much as him. Mm-hmm. Vessel of your hope even now. How? The dummy plugs? They going to claim that they've fixed her? It's not really her, is it? This blown out lighting again. No memories. Array 3. She is not herself. Why? "36 other ways? The only definite way is the capsule. What's in it? What was in it?" They plan for the annihilation of the city? Why? So she's operating from behind the scenes, knowing the truth. Is it Adam or is it something else? Artificial Evolution Laboratory. Was about to say. Oh. Oh. Right. Think of who? Did she also fall for Gendo? What the fuck? There's no animation. No ray spinning in front of the moon. Okay, there it is. Which voice actress is this? I can't place it. Is it Ray? I don't think so. Okay, is it just a preview? Yes. I have so many questions and not even enough information to formulate them into specific questions. That makes sense? Let me go through my notes and then we'll go through the episode and try and piece this together. Okay, so there are so many parts to this. Okay. So these are the parts as I'm thinking about them, as I'm laying them out. The first is Asuka broken. And the reason I want to talk about each of these parts separately is because they're woven together, and to get an idea of what actually happened in this episode and all the things that were revealed, I want to try to to untangle them. Literally untangle them from the continuum of the show into sort of like a narrative that makes sense for each of the characters. So, the first of these is Broken Asuka. And from the moment that Shinji walks up to her door, after going up to Ritsuko, or to Misato's door, and not being able to go in, wanting connection, but not being able to, he then stands in front of Asuka's door and muses, wondering if she'll come back, letting us know that she hasn't been back since that incident. We discover that she's at, I forget her name, but the class rep's house. And there are callbacks to Unfamiliar Ceiling and some other stuff. And the first thing that really struck me from that was Asuka revealing vulnerability by asking if she's a burden. It's not the kind of thing that the early Asuka, before this incident, would have even considered. Am I a burden? Who cares? But now that she's not a winner, not confident in her abilities, everything has fallen apart for her. She's just crushed by it, And we see this in her sync rate dropping, her statements before she's even launched, like, here I am back in the pilot seat. And then she breaks down when the EVA is finally launched. Why won't it move? Why won't it move? Because she's never dealt with this before. She's always been, even if it was a facade, she's always been overconfident. And now she's shattered. We get the repetition of that line. I hate everything, I hate everyone, but most of all, I hate myself. She's shattered. Her ego is shattered. And she doesn't have the tools to put the pieces back together because she's never had to before. So it's a big shatter. Big blow. Most of us were breaking continuously in order to reshape ourselves to fit the people that we attach ourselves to. But someone without attachments like Asuka has never had to do that. We get used to it. It becomes normal. It still hurts. It's just that it's at a lower level drawn out across our lives. But Asuka just went from 100 to 0. And now she's just staring at the pieces of herself on the floor, like, in horror. Terrible. The second part is fighting this angel. And this one's a weird one. The Magi can't make sense of it. It's alternating between blue and orange. The people manning the desks say some vague lines like, we don't have enough data. It's a weird one. and then it invades Rei. And that whole scene is strange. Very strange. It's similar to the Asuka mind rape, which is just what I'm gonna call that for now. If anyone has a better name for last episode's Asuka scene, let me know. But I'm gonna stick with mind rape for now. That's what it felt like. It's similar to that. Let's go to it. I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff, but we'll go back through the episode and talk about like visual stuff and composition, and see if there's look for things that I missed. But first, I just want to go through this section because the way that it's done was very interesting to me. It's very sexual. I know that I said that the Asuka mind rape was sexual, but that felt sexual because of a couple of lines that could have been differently translated, and weren't necessarily so. This feels like it's a sexual assault, partly because of the body horror of this thing crawling up you, I guess. I'm not sure. When does it start? Okay, so we're a little bit before it. I want to start it earlier. So it starts invading her. And the descriptions of it are very sexual. Penetration by foreign AT field. Aggressively seeking to make first contact. Entering without will. And the way this is shot is almost sexual, and what stuck out to me most was that she's blushing. Like this scene, this one frame out of context, looks like it could be from hentai. Do you know what I mean? Like blushing, grimacing, penetrating. Invading Unit 00's organic parts. And this leads to the launch of Asuka. There's a lot of focus on Rei's breasts. And they're kept in shot and focused on a lot, as this thing creeps up her body. I would go so far as to say that's intentional. Making further inroads. Biologically fusing. Yeah. Then Asuka broken. It won't move, it won't move. So you don't believe in yourself. So they bring her back. This scene, once again, the back arched. And then we go inside her mind. There are two Reis. Which is which? Another me, a person that we call an angel. But it's the one in the water that is the angel. It's the one floating above that is the Rei. But it takes on her form and her voice. I am me, I am not you. But it's no use, it's too late now. I'll share what's in my heart with you, whether you want me to or not. I'll share this feeling with you. Is this... Yeah, that's the echo voice. It's the angel saying that. Doesn't it hurt? Doesn't your heartache, loneliness, become one with us? With me? I don't understand. You hate being alone, but there are so many of us, and yet you hate being alone. So many rays? So many people? So many angels? All of the above? None of the above? I don't know. I just don't know. That is what loneliness is. So many of us, but no contact, no attachments. We are all alone. Every human is always alone. And that's not a nihilistic sentiment or anything like that. It's just that no one can ever know you. No one ever can ever be in your head, be you. And so we are alone. More distant than we are close, no matter how close we get. That is what is inside your heart. This shifting shot is really cool. I wonder how they did that with the cell animation. Because in a digital effects world, that's easy peasy. I don't know how you would do it with painted cells. Perhaps it was digital, I don't know. These are tears, the one crying is me. And then this thing balloons out. Same way that Adam grew its legs. But it's insectoid. It's just a massive animal features. Antenna, spider legs, claws, pinchers, Illuminati symbols. A horrifying monstrosity. Gendo lifts the suspension. And Broken Asuka says, "You didn't send him out for me." And I wrote down something along the lines of, she wanted to be saved. But I'm not sure that's what it is. I'm not sure if it's that, or that she wanted Shinji to be there for her, as she expresses in that sentiment that she says, you won't even hold me, that thing. You didn't send him out for me. Beaten by Ray. Again. Or Broken Asuka. And this should be Shinji's triumphant arrival, but it does not go well. I love this, the way that the angel's shoulders lurch forward. That's amazing. Got real weight to it. This thing is so freaky, so alien. Darts toward him. Shatters his rifle. Grabs hold of it and it starts to infest him. Looks like Adam. Attack it with the prog knife, and he does, and it screams in Ray's voice. Yeah, me too, man. That's pretty fucking horrifying. It hurts, and his hand is making ray faces. It turns into a specter of her. Freaky ray ghost. This is my heart wanting to become one with Ikari. Is it? I don't know what this line means. Almost hugs the head of the Eva. And she sucks it back in. I will take on all of this pain myself. Sucks it all back in. Restraint, repression. And then it blossoms out of... Is that the S2 engine? Something like that. It's not an S2 engine because Evas don't have it as S2 engines. Is it the Angel's S2 engine or is it something else entirely? Or is that just the core of the Eva? I don't know. But it explodes outward and they start as like faces almost. Yeah. No, weird heart, veiny, blobby things. Ugh. It blobs out. And then there's this scene where it chomp, 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 chomp. If I go, the AT field will disappear. So I can't. Mode D, okay. This is just fantastic. How is it done? Is it just cut to cut? Or are there frames in between? Wow. So they bloom out. That creates this really crispy chomp 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 feeling to it. Oh. Compressing all that energy down. And then boom. Right, she reaches out and then her angel becomes another ray with a halo. And once I think it's the same frame that the halo would collapse all the way down. Boom! Obliterating everything. And I can't tell if this is Unit 0 or Unit 1. I think that's Unit 0. I think that's Unit 1, I should say. Sorry. Bathed in this light. Just from the shape of the head, but I'm not sure. Let me know if anyone can confirm or deny. Target has been destroyed. Misato just shaking with... I don't even know what to call it. It's such a combination of emotions that she must be feeling. Shaking. Are her fists clenched? Yes, they are. If there's even anyone to save, there is a survivor. And then Ray 3. Okay, so what were the other sections that I talked about, or that I wanted to talk about? Within Ray's mind, Shinji versus Angel, Ray. Ritsuko with Seal, whatever. And then the reveal. Okay, where do we start? Okay, we start with the recovery operation. Our traces, we're searching for Rei. Ah. So we do see something in here. We see this hand. So this body is done. Absolutely destroyed. Do they salvage her soul and put it in another shell? Because this body is definitely not the one we see later. What happened here will be classified as top secret. Take the plug back, dispose of everything else, which would include that Rei body. The third angel, okay. Wonder if there's anything hidden in here. I don't know what that says. Okay, these are just angel names. Okay, we're just going through the angel names. Super fast. Okay. Journey has been long and the sacrifices have been... It's almost a triumphant sentiment. Sacrificed the Lance of Longinus. Now Unit 00. More than enough reasons to relieve Ikari of his command. Why we allowed Fuyutsuki to return safely? I don't get this. And then saying another human sacrifice to counter Ikari. Is Ikari meant to be a human sacrifice? And I think they're talking about Ritsuko at this point, though they may not know it. We need someone who knows the truth. About what? About Rei? About the angels? About Adam? There are a lot of truths to know. Then we cut to Ritsuko with her cats, so she will be the one they choose. The way she gazes at this picture is interesting. Herself, Mole, and then not her mother, but Gendo. Young Gendo. I never got the idea that Ritsuko was interested in him. That seems to be implied. I'm not sure. Okay, and then we move to some aftermath. This is interesting because we take the scene that starts with focus on the Walkman and Shinji staring up at the ceiling. It's very different just because the light is on and his earbuds aren't in. He's not cutting himself off from everything around him. And he hears and interacts with Ritsuko when she's at the door. Feels sad, but the tears won't come. She tries to reach out to him. He jumps away from her touch. Still Hedgehog. And she thinks she's reaching out for him. She says, "This is all I can do for you." Is to reach out. But it's not for him, it's for herself. Jumps away. Stop it. Then we talk about loneliness again. No, afraid of intimacy. Yes, that's more like it. So she goes to Pen Pen and gets rejected by Pen Pen. Nope! Oof! Ow! It doesn't matter who. I am the one who's lonely. Got these base pairs listed out. TTTATTG. Yeah. Talking about Rei, and Fuyutsuki says she is the product of my despair and at the same time the vessel for your hope, right? Yeah, the vessel of your hope even now. How is she the product of Fuyutsuki's despair? What does he mean by that? Perhaps it will be revealed. I suppose it was unreasonable to expect you to forget. Forget what? That almost implies that Rei is Fuyutsuki's creation. I don't know. Got the same light streaming in here, accenting Misato. All these coffee cans. Then we come here and Rei is alive, but she is not herself. These bandages she has on her, they don't cover anything. They're part of the farce. This same bright light. I think this is the same as the scene with her and Asuka. But are the positions reversed? I'm not sure. Perhaps. Thank you for saving me. I see, so I saved you. I just don't know. You don't remember. No, I just don't know. Because I think I'm probably the third one. The third Rei. So is it a backup of her soul? Put into another vessel? Then we use this same shot to transition into her room. Same room. Same trash bag, same pills, same water. Takes all the bandages off, and we see there is no damage. Perfect shell. Then she picks up the glasses and holds them so tightly that I thought she was going to break them. I can't tell what she's feeling when she's doing this. She's twisting them. Is she trying to break them, or is she just gripping them so tightly because of the emotion she's feeling? She begins to cry and she makes the same remarks. So there's something of the Rei that died in that EVA within her. Something of it. Why am I crying? So we maintain the first child and then we just watch the rest. The rest will raise a fuss. I have offered something else, right? I've offered Ritsuko. Why is she nude? Is it so they know that she's not wearing any devices? I don't get it. I do not wish to subject you to any more degradation and suffering, and she says, I feel no humiliation. Unabashed. They try to use that. Yes, that actually does surprise her. Ikari is the one who handed you over to us. Who betrayed you. And he refused to hand over Rei and handed you over instead. So, I was sent in place of Rei. So, okay, this is part of what implies what I infer. I'm not even going to say that it's implied because I don't know if it's implied, but it's what I'm inferring, perhaps without basis, is that Ritsuko, like her mother, became infatuated with Gendo. And like her mother, like daughter, as she says, he chose Rei over her. So there's more to the message. And there's information on this chip. And she gets to work. She says something. I won't let it irritate me anymore. Ritsuko alone on the elevator. What's the alternative to returning her? Removing her? Killing her? I don't know. For the sake of mankind's futures. There are 8 EVAs being prepared for use with dummy plugs, I assume. Which leaves 4 more. 4 more to be made? So when they say the annihilation of New Tokyo 3 will be good material upon which to advance our plans, do they mean the explosion that occurred when Rei sucked up that angel? Was that New Tokyo 3 getting exploded? I don't know. That will be our promise day. Okay, shit's getting real. Sunset, golden hour. Ritsuko calls Shinji. As her plan. Is this her plan to keep Misato from killing her? Did she plan that far ahead? I don't know. She can't get in. She needs Misato's key. Fine, but he's coming too. Okay. So we go down in another elevator, and we find this room. And immediately, the tone of the light looks just like Rei's room. The gray industrial feeling. The sparseness, the bed. And the cut to pills on the counter, and this particular, the jar. Yeah. Yeah. This is Rei Ayanami's room. This is where she was born and raised. The water and light that form Rei's unconscious must have a strong impression of this place. Water and light. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye out for water and light as something. Wonder what these things written on the floors and walls mean. They look like they're done in chalk, not, I don't know. Top, bottom. I don't think we ever see the full scope of the one on the other wall. There's math over there. Maybe they're just markings from all this industrial stuff. I don't know. I know Misato. So then we see the Eva graveyard. We find out that something about this is where your mother went missing. The moment your mother vanished. This is the source of the dummy plugs. I don't know how. Show you the truth, and she illuminates the tank. There's a sea of rays. There's a sea of rays. But they are not rays. They are shells, and so the dummy plugs are soulless shells. They are human. No, the EVAs are human. The part that becomes the core of the dummy system. And this is the manufacturing plant for it. These are just dummies. Nothing more than parts for the one ray. Only one. And then we get some biblical shit. Man found God, and in their joy they tried to make him theirs. That's why there was divine retribution. That was 15 years ago. The God they found had also disappeared by then. Then they tried to resurrect God on their own. The result was Adam, right? And imitating God, they created people from Adam. The result was the EVAs. People, they're human? Yes. EVAs themselves are without souls. Oops. But they are human. They have souls embedded in them. The only vessel that contained a soul was Rei. She was the only one born with a soul. So have they been trying to repeat that process? The Chamber of Guff was empty, you see? No. Nope, do not see. Do not understand. These things that look like Rei are just vessels, and I hate them. So she destroys them. You know what you're doing. Revenge. It's the feeling that I get, is that it's revenge. Things shaped like people. I lost, even to these things. This is what I'm talking about. I only needed to think of him and I could endure any kind of humiliation. Like mother, like daughter. And I knew too. Chose her over me. It's almost a glow around Ritsuko. You see this purple haze? It could be just part of the encoding. But it's not around either of these two. Just around Ritsuko. I don't even see it around Shinji's shirt. Which is the same color. The people possessed by the EVAs. That goes for me too. Oh my god, I still have so many unformed questions. Primarily, what the fuck is going on? Okay, let's go back to the very beginning, because I said I would go through that part for stuff and see if there was anything that I missed. Okay. Right? Her room is all sorts of fucked up, lots of cans. Same message, listening to the same message. Phone that won't ring. Right, don't bother me. Hanging out with Pen Pen. And Asuka's room. She's not home. She's playing games, Sega games. At her house. She won't go to school, she won't go home. She keeps staying here. They go to sleep. This is the Shinji depressed color palette. The dark blue. Nope, you're not a burden. I wasn't able to win. I'm not worth anything anymore. Winning equals value to Asuka. I hate it, I hate it all, I hate everyone, but I hate myself the most. I feel like nothing matters anymore. And then the class rep doesn't seem to really understand. But she tries to be comforting. It's okay for you to do whatever you want, and I won't say anything. Because I think you did your best, Asuka. But that doesn't mean anything to Asuka. She's all about results. And so she weeps. So what was this? She passed away. Who? Someone passed away. So she passed away. Her cat? Perhaps. I'm gonna run with that until someone lets me know. Possible to recover the lance. Bunch of fucking with Gendo. He uses the excuse that he and Fuyutsuki kind of like talked about using. Unavoidable situation. Couldn't help it. We're in the middle of deliberations. There's an angel coming. Let's continue at another time. If your seat is still waiting for you, that is. Always threatening. We get our first glimpse of the angel as from Misato's perspective. It's a halo. Shamelessly back in the pilot seat. As though she should be ashamed. I'm so bad at letting things go. So bad at everything. I'm the worst. I'll only be in the way. I don't care anymore. But you care so much! Shut up, Asuka! Smack! Smack! You care so much! No waiting and watching for you. So alien. And then we go straight into, yep, okay. That's where we started going through it all. Oh my god. What the heck? What do the angels want? What does Celestial want? What is Ray? The only one with a soul, I guess. What does that mean? How is she related to Yui? It's Yui, right? That's his mom's name? Yuki or Yui? Yui's the girl from K-On! But I think it's also his mom. How's she related? Is she her daughter? Unborn? Some weird combination of Gendo and Yui's genes? It would make sense with how she views Gendo as sort of a father figure. And how he views her almost as a daughter. But also as a tool, and also as somewhat disposable. I don't know what to think. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's been an hour and 43 minutes of recording time. Ah! Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Said it at the beginning, we're in the end game now. 3 episodes left. And then the movie. Alright. Here we go. I've been Teeaboo. This has been EVA, episode 23. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.